Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, or even if you're just someone who loves history and discovering hidden treasures, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into the world of a seemingly ordinary coin, something that might be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. That's right, today, we're talking about the 1-cent USA 2000 coin, a coin that's worth far more than you might think. So, grab your magnifying glass, sit tight, and let's get into it. At first glance, this little copper-plated piece might seem like just another penny. It has the classic Abraham Lincoln design on the front and a simple wheat design on the back. But there's so much more to this coin than meets the eye. Believe it or not, some of these pennies have been known to sell for millions of dollars. Yep, you heard that right, millions. Now, let's talk about what makes the 2000 1-cent coin so valuable and what you might have to look for if you think you've stumbled upon one of these rare gems. Spoiler alert, it's not just any 2000 penny, but a particular era coin that's worth the big bucks. First, let's dive into the history of the 2000 1-cent coin. As you probably know, pennies are one of the most widely circulated coins in the United States. In 2000, the US Mint produced billions of them, so finding one in circulation today isn't exactly rare. But there's something special about some of these 2000 pennies that sets them apart from the millions of others. To understand why some of these pennies are worth a fortune, we need to talk about minting errors. A minting error is when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. Maybe it's double-struck, misaligned, or missing elements entirely. In the case of the 2000 penny, the most famous error coin is what's called the 2000 wide AM penny. The 2000 wide AM penny is a special error where the letters A and M in America on the reverse side of the coin are spaced unusually wide apart. Normally, these letters are pretty close together, but on the error coin, there's a noticeable gap between them. It was a mistake made during the minting process, and it has made the coin incredibly valuable. Now you might be thinking, isn't that a small detail? It may seem subtle, but coin collectors know that these small differences can make a world of difference when it comes to value. A regular 2000 penny in decent condition might only be worth its face value, 1 cent. But a 2000 wide AM penny? Well, that's a whole different story. Some 2000 wide AM pennies have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions, and certain ones have even fetched over $30,000 or more. But the truly rare ones, the ones in perfect condition or with other unique characteristics, can be worth well over $1 million each. That's right, a penny could be worth millions. So, how do you spot one of these elusive coins in your collection? Well, it all comes down to inspecting the reverse side of the penny, the side with the words E pluribus unum and United States of America. What you want to look for is that gap between the and M in America. Now, don't just go flipping through your pocket change expecting to find a hidden fortune. Even if you do find a 2000 penny with the wide spacing between the and M, there are other factors that can influence its value, like the condition of the coin and whether or not it's been graded by a professional. Coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition are far more valuable than ones that have been worn down by years of use. To properly assess the value of any coin, collectors and investors rely on a grading system. The most common grading system is called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A grade of 70 represents a perfect coin, while a lower number indicates more wear and tear. For example, if you find a 2000 wide AM penny in mint condition, it could be graded as MS 65 or higher, which means it's still worth a pretty penny, pun intended. Professional grading services, like the PCGS or NGC, are the go-to places to send your coins to be authenticated and graded. These services will provide you with an official certificate that says exactly what condition your coin is in, and it can drastically increase the value if it's been deemed authentic and graded highly. Before we wrap up and get into how much these coins are worth right now, let's take a quick look at the broader context of the penny's history. The penny has been in circulation in the United States since 1793, and it's gone through several design changes. The most notable of these changes, of course, was the switch from the wheat-back penny to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Each of these design shifts marked significant changes in U.S. history, and over the years, the penny has become not just a piece of currency, but a piece of American culture. The 2000 penny, with its special minting error, is one of those rare examples of a coin that has truly stood out, and it's a reminder that sometimes, even the most ordinary items can hold extraordinary value. So, to answer the burning question, how much can you actually sell one of these rare 2000 wide AM pennies for? Well, like I mentioned earlier, some of these coins can fetch up to $33 million. That's right, there's a verified sale where a 2000 wide AM penny was sold for that astronomical price. But don't get too excited yet, you need to find one in nearly perfect condition for that kind of return. Still, the coin's market value has made it a must-have for serious collectors. To sum it up, the 2000 wide AM penny is a truly fascinating coin, both for its historical significance and its value. Whether you're a collector, investor, or just someone interested in cool pieces of American history, this penny is something you won't want to overlook. Who knows, you could have a multi-million-dollar coin sitting right in your change jar. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a hidden treasure like this one. And as always, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Next, you won't believe what we've uncovered today. It's a coin that could be worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 2017 1-cent coin and its shocking potential value that could make you a millionaire. Grab your magnifying glasses and get ready for an amazing journey through history and the world of rare coins. Before we talk about its crazy value, let's first understand the history of the penny. Yes, the penny. This tiny coin, the 1-cent piece, has been circulating in the United States for over 200 years. It was first minted in 1793 and has undergone several design changes. But in 2017, something special happened. Throughout its long history, the penny has been the backbone of U.S. currency. But by 2017, the design had been refined into the familiar Lincoln Memorial design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. So, what makes the 2017 coin stand out from the rest? Let's take a closer look at its design and why it could be worth so much. The 2017 1-cent coin features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, we still see the familiar shield of the United States, which was introduced in 2010. However, what makes this coin so special is not the design itself but the potential rarity behind certain 2017 pennies. The 2017 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and like most years, a huge number were produced. But there's a catch: some of these 2017 pennies are reportedly much rarer than others. Some collectors believe that there were production errors or other anomalies in specific batches of the 2017 penny that make them extremely rare. And rare coins? Well, they're worth a lot of money. Now, hold on to your seats, because here's where it gets wild. You may be asking, what makes a 2017 penny worth millions? Believe it or not, this particular 2017 penny could be worth as much as $12 million if it meets certain rare criteria. But how? Let's break it down. Rumors have swirled for years about rare coins hidden in circulation, coins that, at first glance, seem just like any ordinary penny. But there's a reason why some collectors are willing to pay a hefty price for a simple 2017 1-cent coin. In reality, the $12 million value isn't for just any 2017 penny. It's for those pennies that exhibit very specific and unusual traits. These include coins with error stamps, like doubled dies, or strange imperfections that are not found in the general minting process. For example, the famous double die error could lead to a drastic price increase. This occurs when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a misalignment that gives the coin a doubled appearance in its design. These mistakes can make a coin much more valuable than a typical 1-cent piece. But let's talk about why this coin is still of huge interest to collectors and investors. Coin collecting, or numismatics, has been an investment strategy for decades. Rare coins have consistently outperformed many other forms of investments, especially when it comes to historical significance. It's not just about the coin itself. It's about the rarity, the unique characteristics, and the history behind it. A coin like the 2017 D penny could tell a story that goes far beyond its face value, connecting its owner to a unique piece of American history. So, how can you find a 2017 D penny that might be worth a fortune? Well, this is where it gets tricky. Coin collectors are constantly on the lookout for pennies with flaws, errors, or unusual features. Some might turn up in your pocket change, while others can only be found in bulk rolls from the bank. It's not easy to find one of these holy grail pennies, but it's worth checking your spare change or looking into coin dealers who specialize in rare finds. But it's not just errors that determine a coin's value. Condition is also key. A coin that's in mint condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear or damage, can command a much higher price. The rarity of the coin combined with its condition, historical significance, and unique features will determine its ultimate value. If you find a 2017 D penny that has minimal damage and perhaps even an error, you might be holding something much more valuable than you think. In the end, while the idea of finding a $12 million 2017 D penny sounds incredible, it's all about luck, timing, and knowing exactly what you're looking for. So, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might stumble upon a coin that's not just worth a cent, but could be worth a fortune. Thanks for tuning in today. If you learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another rare coin discovery. Until next time, happy hunting! Next, where we uncover some of the most surprising stories in the world of numismatics. Today, we're diving deep into a story about a humble 1-cent coin from 1994 that could potentially be worth, wait for it, $81 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stay tuned because we're about to unravel this mind-blowing tale, explore the coin's history, and what makes it worth so much. When we think of a penny, we often don't imagine big money. After all, it's a 1-cent coin, typically the least valuable in our pockets. But did you know that a particular penny from 1994 has sparked a wave of excitement in the numismatic world? This isn't your ordinary penny. Today, we'll talk about how this seemingly simple coin can hold astronomical value, and why it's making collectors, investors, and historians sit up and take notice. Let's start with a quick history lesson. The 1994 1-cent coin, or penny, is like millions of other pennies that were produced in the US at that time. Struck by the US Mint, these pennies were made with 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, which is the standard composition for pennies since 1982. Designed by Abraham Lincoln, the penny features the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, a design that's been in place since 1959. Nothing special, right? Just another regular coin in circulation. But here's where it gets interesting. This penny, along with others minted in 1994, is not the reason it's attracting so much attention. It's all about a rare and unique error, one that would make this coin extraordinarily valuable. Let's dive into the heart of the mystery. In the world of coin collecting, there are errors that can make a coin's value skyrocket. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error. A double die occurs during the minting process when a coin is struck twice by the die, leading to a noticeable doubling of the design. In the case of the 1994 penny, there have been reports of certain coins that exhibit a double die error. In these rare instances, the coin features a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln or the lettering, making it stand out from the rest. Now, imagine a regular penny suddenly displaying double the design. How much more valuable would it be? Here's where things get wild. You might be wondering, just how much can a double die 1994 penny be worth? Well, hold on to your seats, because some collectors believe that a particular example of this error could be worth as much as $81 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $81 million. But how is this possible? Let's break it down. The story of this extraordinary penny begins when a sharp-eyed collector discovered a 1994 double-die penny that was unlike any other. The doubling on the coin was so pronounced and flawless that experts started to take notice. Initially, this penny might have been worth a few $100s due to its error, but as more collectors and investors got wind of it, the price skyrocketed. At one point, the penny made headlines when it was put up for auction. Experts estimated its value at an astounding $81 million. This was due to a combination of its rarity, the severity of the error, and the interest from deep-pocketed investors and collectors who were willing to pay top dollar for it. The value of this coin is tied to the fact that it's one of the most significant error coins discovered in modern history. The combination of a major error, historical significance, and the sheer rarity of it makes this penny worth far more than most could imagine. So, why is this penny worth such an outrageous amount of money? Well, first off, it's the rarity. As with any collectible, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. There are only a few known examples of this 1994 double-die penny in existence, making it highly desirable among collectors. Secondly, it's the rarity of the error itself. Most pennies from 1994, and even other double-die pennies, don't have such a pronounced and clear doubling error. Most coins that exhibit double-die errors are either hard to spot or don't feature the level of detail needed to make them truly valuable. But this one stands out, making it a true treasure for anyone lucky enough to have it in their collection. So, is there any way you can find one of these rare coins yourself? Well, if you're hoping to get your hands on a 1994 penny that could be worth millions, your best bet is to carefully inspect your coins. Look for signs of doubling in the lettering, especially the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions, as well as on Abraham Lincoln's profile. But let me be clear, finding one of these is extremely rare. Most likely, if you have a 1994 penny, it's just an ordinary coin worth its face value of 1 cent. However, it's always good to check, as errors like this are the ones that change the course of a collector's life. So there you have it, a simple 1994 penny, one of the most unlikely contenders in the race for big money. While most pennies are worth just 1 cent, the ones with rare errors, like the double die, can go for millions. It just goes to show you that in the world of coin collecting, you never know when you might stumble upon a fortune. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from the world of coins and collectibles. And if you think you found a rare coin, remember, always do your research and get it appraised by experts. Who knows, your penny could be worth a fortune. Last, did you know that a simple penny from the year 2001 could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right, millions. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of 1-cent coins, specifically the 2001 D penny, and why it's far more valuable than its face value. Today we're talking about one of the most intriguing coins in American numismatics, the 2001 D 1-cent coin. It might look like just another penny in your pocket, but trust me, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Let's get into it. To understand the true value of the 2001 D penny, we need to take a quick trip back in time. The 2001 D penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, as part of the U.S. Mint's regular circulation series. The design, as with most pennies of that era, features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Simple, right? In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced over 10 billion pennies to meet the demands of the American economy. But what sets this particular penny apart from the rest isn't its design, but a rare, yet significant, error that makes it an absolute gem for collectors. So, what makes this coin worth so much money? Well, it all comes down to an extremely rare minting error. Some of the 2001 D pennies were struck with what's known as a double die error, specifically on the reverse side of the coin. This means that the design was struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain letters and numbers. In the case of the 2001 D penny, the doubling can typically be found in the words E pluribus unum and United States of America on the reverse. The doubling is often subtle, but if you know what to look for, it's a clear indicator of this valuable error. Now, you might be wondering, why is this doubling such a big deal? Well, errors like this are rare in the world of coin production, and the fewer the mistakes, the more valuable the coin becomes. For collectors, this creates a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and excitement. It's not just a normal penny anymore, it's a piece of history with a unique flaw that adds to its value. Since its discovery, the 2001 double-die penny has become one of the most sought-after error coins in the market. Depending on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin, these pennies can sell for anywhere from a few $100s to a staggering $4 million. Yes, you heard me, $4 million. That's a huge return for a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent. Imagine finding one of these in your spare change. You'd go from having a regular penny to holding a potential gold mine. But before you start searching through every coin jar you have at home, let's talk about how you can identify one of these rare 2001 double-die pennies. First, grab a magnifying glass. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin, especially around the words E pluribus unum and United States of America. If you see any signs of doubling, where the letters or numbers appear blurry or have a shadow effect, you might be looking at a double-die error. Be on the lookout for this because it's subtle but important. Now, let's talk about how much one of these coins can actually be worth. As I mentioned earlier, the value depends on a few factors, including the condition of the coin and the intensity of the doubling. A well-preserved, high-quality double-die penny can fetch anywhere between $100,000 to $4 million at auction. That's a life-changing amount of money for something that only costs a penny to produce. For example, one of these rare double-die 2001 pennies was sold for over $100,000 back in 2018, and some experts believe that a pristine, error-free version could even fetch the maximum value of $4 million. Of course, these kinds of prices aren't the norm, but it gives you an idea of just how much these coins can be worth. But what about the rest of your 2001 pennies? You might be wondering if other 2001 coins have any special value. The answer is, not really. While most 2001 pennies are worth just 1 cent, any coins you find with notable flaws or errors should be carefully examined by a professional. There are plenty of other coins with unique minting errors that can be worth a lot more than face value, and the 2001 penny is one of the best examples. In addition to the double-die error, keep an eye out for other rare coin mistakes, such as off-center strikes, missing letters, or unusual metal compositions. These could all increase the value of a coin significantly. So, now you know that the 2001 penny isn't just another 1-cent piece. It has the potential to be worth big money, but finding one requires a keen eye and a bit of luck. If you happen to stumble across one, don't just toss it into your coin jar, take the time to inspect it closely. You might just have a rare collector's item on your hands. Thanks for watching today's video. If you've found a 2001 penny or any other rare coin, drop a comment below and let us know about your discovery. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more cool coin collecting tips and stories. Until next time, happy collecting!